Hello and welcome. So here we are, 5 o'clock. We had promised we will come back with updates from the Champions Trophy with the breaking news, and Shomik Chakraborty has that. From what we are gathering, Shahid Hashmi will also join us from Pakistan. The hybrid model has been accepted or will be accepted and is likely to be communicated to the ICC within 24 hours. But in return, Pakistan has asked for an increase in the share of ICC revenue and more. Possibly they will be given that. What is the latest on that? Shomik will update. This will be a good solution for PCB and for world cricket. Shomik Chakraborty, over to you.
So basically, after yesterday's meeting, when Pakistan Cricket Board was given those couple of options, where either you accept the hybrid model or the Champions Trophy will go out of Pakistan, PCB took the matter to their foreign ministry, and now what we have been hearing from Pakistan is that the hybrid model has been all but accepted. PCB will accept the hybrid model with a couple of riders. One is that their hosting fee, they will demand an increase in their hosting fee, which is something around 65 million. They will ask something north of 70 million. And their revenue from this cycle, ICC financial cycle 24 to 27, is 5.75% of total of ICC's revenue, which is around $600 million. So they wanted in excess of 6% on a par with Cricket Australia, which is something around 6.25%. So these are the two riders. They are likely to attach in their demand. But what we have been hearing that all the hybrid model has been all but accepted by PCB, and latest by tomorrow they will communicate it to the ICC.
Nagi, has Shahid Hashmi joined? He says he's joined. Can we have him? Can you check once if he's joined? There he is. Let's get Shahid Bhai. If you can get your video frame correct, we want to come to you on this one as well. Shahid Bhai, आपका frame थोड़ा उल्टा है. हाँ, नहीं, या ये बेसिकली पीसीबी जैसे हो गया, इधर उधर घूम रहा है. अभी ठीक हो.
Eh,
But
Boria,
Shahid bhai, on a serious note, what we are getting is, can you confirm this for us? We are getting, Shomik has just spoken about this. We are getting that the hybrid model has been accepted by the Pakistan Cricket Board with a couple of riders. The rider is one, increase revenue from the ICC central pool of revenue from 5.75% to 6% or a little more. Also, the hosting rights fee will be increased from the existing amount to a substantially more amount. These are the two riders. This should be communicated to the ICC within the next 24 hours, and this problem will be solved. India Pakistan, Shahid Hashmi will join us. I think there's an internet issue. India Pakistan in Dubai. India Pakistan game will be in Dubai as planned. Shahid Bhai, if you can hear me, is this correct? A hybrid model accepted with a couple of riders, increase in revenue, increase in hosting rights fee. If we can get your video on, is this correct, Shahid Hashmi? Shahid Bhai, we can see you. Tell us.
yeah, Boria, there is all these speculations going on, but I can confirm that this is true, partly, and some part of which will be coming to the fore in the next 24 hours, because Pakistan has a bargaining chip now. They know that it's very difficult to fight the might. India has the might, India has the clout, India has the money, and most of the board members are with India. So Pakistan will have to accept this hybrid model with some conditions on it. They have told the ICC that they want the final to be held in Lahore, which again will be not accepted to the broadcasters. And then there should be some increase in the revenue, annual revenue for Pakistan. So they are trying to bargain on certain things. There are two sides to it. One emotional, don't go pull out of the Champions Trophy, which is not wise, and there is one logical side of it, because you cannot fight this case. So accept and bargain something which could help you in the future.
It's also the rational side to it. Shahid Bhai, if you can get your video to work, it will be better because we can hear you, but we can't see you. Now we can. Devashish Sen, your thoughts, first thoughts, acceptance of the hybrid model, like we were saying, is the way forward. It is good for global cricket. Pakistan also will be taking a reasonable stance if it takes this and accepts the hybrid model. Increased money, very fair on its part to ask for it. But if this is accepted, it's good for cricket. Devashish Sen.
100% it's good for cricket if Pakistan Cricket Board accepts the hybrid model, because that was the only. What is Saeed Hasmi doing? Saeed bhai,
Yes, I am doing what PCB is doing.
yeah,
Anyway,
But
Devashish, go
there
on.
was some. My kids are at a shopping center. My wife is in a fun gala, so I am stuck with cricket and Champions Trophy thing for the last 2 3 days. So I accept all these foolish acts.
No, no, it's
no,
fine.
it's
It's fine. Yeah,
fine,
Devashish,
fine,
tell me.
fine. Right? Yeah, I think that's the best possible option for Pakistan Cricket Board is to accept the hybrid model, because the hosting right still remains with Pakistan, and it is only fair for Pakistan Cricket Board to demand a hike in the money, which I think it's absolutely fair, because the biggest um, point is India's participation, and if India plays in Dubai, no, Pakistan should have no problem whatsoever. So I think that's the best option possible, and hopefully we might see an official decision coming from ICC tomorrow, latest by tomorrow, and that is good news for everyone, for every country in the region.
Absolutely. Absolutely is what we are getting. Gargi, your thoughts on this? First, that hybrid model accepted. Second, Pakistan increased revenue share. That's 5.75% to 6%. That is what we are getting, and that's quite fair. I don't think that should be an issue, or even hosting rights, more money, or whatever. That should be an issue. Now, this tournament can go ahead, and this stalemate can be sorted. Gargi Rao.
Yes, we've been speaking about this, considering the geopolitical tensions and the political relationships that the two countries have. I think this could have been the best possible solution for the situation, and I'm glad that PCB has finally agreed to the hybrid model, because honestly, it's the best thing for cricket. It's the best thing for sport. You don't want a special board or a country to be shunned out of the sports. That's never what you want to happen, what you want to happen. And I think this is the best possible situation for everyone else. And the hike, the revenue hike, I think it's very fair. 5.5% doesn't harm anyone, so it's fair all around. Right now it seems like everyone is on an equal footing.
Bharat Ramraj, your thoughts? At least the problem is sorted and the game isn't divided. So one should also give credit to the PCB for coming around and accepting the hybrid model, seeing sense that this is the logical way forward. Folks, do not berate anyone and say, "Arey, PCB is taking a 360-degree turnaround." This is the most reasonable solution that the PCB has to accept. So this is not a forum where saying, "Arey, Pakistan was bitten to," nothing like that. This is world cricket, which has to stay united. So behave with a little bit of sense and do not behave with Pakistan YouTubers or fundamentalists here. None of us are fundamentalists. We are journalists. So behave like that. Bharat Ramraj, your thoughts?
I guess, as you just said, it's about being rational, and that is what Pakistan Cricket Board finally would have thought of it as well. A few days ago, also, I said perhaps Pakistan would look at what is logical from this kind of a position, because obviously BCCI is the one obviously has the power, and when it is like that, it's better from Pakistan's perspective as well, just to be rational. And I guess that's what PCB also must be thinking, and that is why they come to this kind of conclusion. It's good for world cricket in general, as it's already been noted, because you don't want Champions Trophy or to be kind of abandoned or something on those lines. So, or a team to be expelled or whatever, a team withdrawing from the Champions Trophy or on those lines. So, yeah, it's good from world cricket. This is a logical step. You have to consider all the circumstances around you, and that's what I guess PCB also have thought about it, and that is why they have come to this conclusion.
Shomik Chakraborty and Shahid Hashmi, give me the sequence. How did it happen from yesterday afternoon to now? How did this come to be where it is at this moment? And when do we expect an official announcement? Shomik Chakraborty, you go first. Then I will go to Shahid Bhai on this. And what is the general consensus in Pakistan? I'll ask Shahid Bhai. But Shomik, from the ICC meeting yesterday to now, to the acceptance, like we are saying, how did this come to this? Give me the story.
The sequence of events are like is basically yesterday in the afternoon, ICC had a meeting that was a virtual. The board members joined via virtual platform. The meeting lasted for less than 15 minutes, and the PCB was presented with a couple of options that either you accept the hybrid model, and number two, in otherwise the tournament will go. I mean, you will lose the tournament. Now PCB asked for time. PCB asked for time in between. Mr. Mohsin Naqvi had a word, had a separate meeting with the head of the UAE cricket board also, and Pakistan cricket board took the matter to their government, to their foreign ministry, and discussions ensured. And towards around 4 o'clock, 4:30 today, they have come to a decision that we will accept a hybrid model with those couple of riders, and we will communicate this to the ICC as soon as possible, latest by Sunday.
Shahid Bhai, what will be the reaction in Pakistan on this? Because there was clearly a lot of posturing, a lot of hard stand, but this is the most reasonable stand. Let us all face it. You cannot fight the geopolitical realities and the ground realities in this day and age. And the truth is, India controls the purse. India has the votes, or they control the votes within the ICC. So, by getting more money, the PCB is playing the right act, more reasonable stand. How do you think this decision of the PCB and Mohsin Naqvi will be received in Pakistan? Shahid Hashmi.
Well, I think there will be a sentimental part to it. A lot of people will criticize Mohsin Naqvi, will criticize Pakistan government because sentiments are involved. Just put India in this case instead of Pakistan. India had to make a decision on a hybrid model, and then emotions of 1.4 billion people would have been involved. Now there is 250 million people sentiments involved. So there should be a face saving. You'll have to come out saying that we started a debate. We were given some options. We thought that we were in a state of cul-de-sac. There were no options left. The street was closed at one end, and we had to come back on a hybrid model. And then we started to bargain some things. One bargain which I think ICC will have to consider, that Pakistan will say that any other event, ICC event hosted by India, Pakistan will play its matches on a hybrid model. There will be no problems in 2026 T20 World Cup because Sri Lanka is the co-host. Then 2029, the first problems will emerge when India will hold the Champions Trophy 2029. By that time, we don't know what will be the geopolitical situation. But yes, in the last 2 years, Pakistan failed to progress in its relationship with India because of the political instability. 2 years is a long period. There should have been some political overtures, but they were not. Then PCB should have lobbied with other boards that we are going to host Champions Trophy in the next 2 years. Again, there was some instability in the PCB. They failed to do so. So the situation came to zero for them. So there was a narrow street for them. At the other end, the door was shut. The street was shut. So PCB had to accept a logical solution to it. There were some options. They were presented with some options, and now they will just take a guidance from their government and then come out and say that yes, we have accepted. These were the bargaining chips. We have increased our annual revenues. We have increased the hosting rights. Yes, we have. We are also trying to get final in Lahore, which is again not possible because of the broadcasters will say that we want the final to be scheduled in Dubai at least a month, 2 months before the tournament start. And if India plays the final, which they are a strong team, they played the ODI World Cup final, so it will be held on a neutral venue. So one or two things remain to be solved. Otherwise, it's already, I think, almost solved.
But Shahid Hashmi, what about the Women's World Cup? Women's World Cup, if the Pakistan team doesn't travel to India, I mean, truth be told, it will be the loss of the Pakistan team. I mean, an opportunity to come and play a World Cup Now, if Indian board plays hardball and ICC plays hardball, I mean, come on. For the Women's World Cup, you also understand that to stage that in a hybrid model will does the women's game have that kind of monetary support at this point in time? I'm not sure. How do you react to that? If they put this rider that we will not travel to India for matches, and now, because then you are trying to imply that there is a security concern in India. In the past, you have traveled. There are multiple occasions when you have traveled. If the women's team doesn't come to India in 2025, will not Pakistan women's cricket lose out? And are you then being fair to your players? If the ICC doesn't hold it in a neutral venue for the women's game, are we not discriminating against the women's game based on an obstinate political stance by the PCB? Where do you stand on that, Shahid Hashmi? I know it's a diplomatic one and a tricky one. If you don't want to take that, don't take it. But this is a
No, no,
serious
no.
platform where we ask serious questions. So, Shahid Hashmi, before I go to Bharat and Gargi on this.
Definitely, it will be a loss to Pakistan women's team. But let me say that it is smacks of double standard. You do not want to come to Pakistan and play because of the political tension. You allege that we are doing some terrorism in India. Then why you invite us and play in India? This smacks of double standard, I think.
That's Shahid Hashmi's opinion, not ours. Pakistan has come to India multiple times and have been welcomed in India. Where do you stand on this, Gargi Raut? If the Pakistan women's team doesn't come, if Pakistan doesn't come, is it a loss to them? Because clearly the ICC won't lose, the BCCI won't lose, the World Cup won't lose because Pakistan women's team is not the greatest in the world. But for Pakistan women, those players, those girls who would have had the aspiration of becoming, world players, if they don't get that opportunity, are we being just to them? Gargi Raut, where do you stand on this?
Look, I'm going to answer this with the perspective of the women's team, of the Pakistan women's team. Of course, they wouldn't want to lose out. No player or no anyone in, even though women's cricket has done a lot of evolution, has been a part of a revolution as well, but there's still a lot to be done, and there are teams which need more exposure, more quality competition, and Pakistan team is one of them. Even India, I would say, there are only two or three quality sides in women's cricket, and it's not India, it's not Pakistan. So it would be a huge opportunity lost for Pakistan women's cricket if they don't come here and play. I won't be commenting on what PCB thinks of this and of the political tensions and whatnot. But obviously, it's a PCB will again be at a disadvantage.
There are some questions here. Does Pakistan even have a women's team? Most of the Pakistanis don't know,
Of
etc. These are
course.
sexist rubbish. Okay, let's be clear here. This is a platform which stands for equality and sensitivity. You want to post garbage, don't be part of this platform. I don't give two hoots about numbers or if we lose such viewers. We don't want jerks on this platform. We want people who are sensitive. Shomik Chakraborty, what is the way forward? Will this now become the norm? Rohit Juglan and Shubhan will also join. I will go to Rohit and Shubhan. But Shomik, will this now become a norm? Or as Shahid very rationally said, 2029 is a far way off. 26 also is a far way off. We don't know the geopolitical realities in 26. Where do you think this is headed going forward?
I personally, I don't think the Women's World Cup would be that much of a problem in the sense because compared to the men's event, the harsh, the reality is this, that is a bit of a low key affair if we compare it to the men's event and the men's teams clash. I mean, India, Pakistan, the men's cricket teams playing given the fan following and everything. In as far as women's cricket team is concerned, Pakistan have a women's cricket team, but they are not. They have some very good players also, but they are not that much of a women's cricket is still women's cricket is still making inroads in Pakistan. So I don't see women's World Cup becoming a problem. As far as I agree with my friend Shahid Bhai, that 2026 is any case jointly hosted by India and Sri Lanka, and Pakistan can play their matches in Sri Lanka if they are unwilling to turn up to India. As far as 29 is concerned, it's a far way off. I mean, there would be a lot of water would be flown under the bridge by then, and we don't know in 5 years' time what the geopolitical situation would be. So it is a far way off.
Rohit Juglan,
But
Shahid Hashmi just confirmed that Pakistan also he's heard the same. The news that you guys broke on Hindi, we broke on English. So what are you hearing? What's the latest? Shahid Hashmi is there. Do you have a question for him? Because he too confirmed saying this is the most prudent, rational, objective decision that could have come from the PCB. Rohit Juglan.
Good evening, Shahid Bhai. My question for Shahid Bhai will be that will
पहले आप
this
भी ये बता दीजिए रोहित, आप भी ये बता दीजिए, आपने भी यही सुना है, right? This is the latest that you have heard, that we said that increase in revenue and central revenue share and the acceptance of the hybrid model. A question I will ask you also, that going forward, if they say, for example, next year अगर Women's World Cup के लिए Pakistan team doesn't come to India, will the PCB lose out? But that's part two. What are you hearing as far as the news developments are concerned? पहले आप वो बता दीजिए and then ask your question for Shahid bhai.
पहले हुआ ये कि पाकिस्तान जो है वो 3 अलग अलग मॉडल्स पर बात करने की कोशिश कर रहा था। एक मॉडल था 12+3, जिसमें पाकिस्तान ये चाह रहा था कि 12 मैचेस जो है वो पाकिस्तान को मिले और 3 मैचेस दुबई में जाए। इसमें ये होना था कि कहीं ना कहीं पाकिस्तान को वो फाइनल भी मिलता और इसके साथ साथ पाकिस्तान को वो वाला मैच भी पाकिस्तान में होस्ट करने का मौका मिलता जो इंडिया वर्सेस पाकिस्तान होना चाह रहा था। इसके बाद जब ये एग्रीमेंट नहीं हुआ तो पाकिस्तान ने कहा कि चलो हमें 11+4 दे दो, जिसके बारे में हम लोगों ने कल बात भी करी थी कि दे वांट फाइनल एट एनी केस इन पाकिस्तान, वेयर दे वांटेड दैट बीट इंडिया ओनली। आज शाम को भी हम इस पर बात कर रहे थे कि 11+4 थ्योरी पर पाकिस्तान कोशिश कर रहा है मनाने की कि भाई अगर 11+4 की पॉसिबिलिटी जो आती है एक्सेप्ट, तो वो फिर सबसे बेहतर हो जाएगा। लेकिन जाहिर सी बात है, अगर इंडिया किसी भी सूरत में पाकिस्तान जाता है तो ये पाकिस्तान के लिए विन विन सिचुएशन थी। अब भले ही ये एक स्पोर्ट शो है, लेकिन मैं बिल्कुल इस पे पॉलिटिकल एंगल मिलाना नहीं चाहता हूं, बट ये हमारे इस मुद्दे की जरूरत है। हम इसको क्लियरली समझा नहीं पाएंगे जब तक हम ये नहीं बताएंगे कि पॉलिटिकली भी एक शिगुफा पाकिस्तान में इस चीज को लेकर के छोड़ा गया है। दे आर यूजिंग इट एज अ पॉलिटिकल टूल, और ये दोनों देशों में होता है। मैं इस बात से कतराऊंगा नहीं, हिंदुस्तान में भी ये होता है और पाकिस्तान में भी ये होता है। दोनों देशों में जिस जिसकी सरकार होती है वो अपनी अपनी पॉलिसीज के हिसाब से इस चीज को यूज करती है। दी हाइपर नेशनलिज्म चीज या फिर जो देशभक्ति राष्ट्रभक्ति वाली चीज होती है, जिसका जैसा केटर करता है अपनी 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 ऑडियंस को, तो उस लिहाज से ये चाहा जा रहा था। अब फाइनली जब दोनों चीजें नहीं मिली तो उस पर 10+5 अगर आप देखोगे तो 10+5 में जो है वो सारी चीजें एग्री कर रही हैं। इस पर पाकिस्तान ने 2 चीजें कही है। पहली चीज, उन्हें आई टू आई जाना चाह रहे हैं वो, यानी आई फॉर एन आई जैसे आप बोलते हो, हाइब्रिड मॉडल टू हाइब्रिड मॉडल। अगर हम नहीं जा रहे हैं तो वो भी हमें इस चीज के लिए दबाव ना बनाए हमारे ऊपर कि हम जो है उनके यहाँ आएंगे ही आएंगे। तो पाकिस्तान इज गोइंग फॉर एन आई फॉर आई, जो मेरे को पहली शर्त पता चली है। पहली शर्त उन्होंने ये रखी है। दूसरी चीज उन्होंने ये कही है, जो आपने भी बोला, रेवेन्यू शेयरिंग मॉडल पे हमें इजाफा चाहिए। बहुत जगह ये बात चल रही थी, पहले पाकिस्तान इसी सीजन पे मांग रहा था कि हमें इस पर्टिकुलर टूर्नामेंट है इसकी एक्स्ट्रा फीस दे दीजिए, इसको लेकर के हमें होस्टिंग के साथ साथ कुछ और दे दीजिए। लेकिन उसके बाद जो परसेप्शन बना पाकिस्तान में, वो ये परसेप्शन बना कि भाई पाकिस्तान तो पैसों में सेटल कर ले रहा है, मतलब पाकिस्तान पैसों पे बिक जा रहा है, पैसों पे वो भारत के आगे झुक जा रहा है। तो उन्होंने फिर इसको थोड़ा सा घुमाने की कोशिश करी। अब उन्होंने घुमाया कैसे? घुमाया ऐसे कि उन्होंने कहा है कि अगले 3 साल के लिए जो एफटीपी जो ऑलरेडी रेवेन्यू शेयरिंग मॉडल है उसमें आप हमें बढ़ोतरी दीजिए, यानी वो 5-5.5 का उठाकर हमें 6-7 के आसपास अगर हम कहीं लेकर जाएं तो ये कोई बहुत बड़ा डिफरेंस क्रिएट नहीं करेगा। 10-15 मिलियन डॉलर जो है वो इधर उधर होंगे, जो पाकिस्तान के लिए किसी भी क्रिकेटिंग जो कि जो इंडिया नहीं है, मैं कहूंगा ऑस्ट्रेलिया भी, इंग्लैंड भी, सबके लिए 10-15 मिलियन डॉलर कोई कम रकम नहीं है। तो ये जब रकम आपको मिलेगी तो कहीं ना कहीं आप इसे अपनी ऑडियंस के सामने, अपनी आवाम के सामने, जिसके सामने आपने ये बोला कि नहीं, शुरुआत में जिसके सामने आपने ये बोला कि नहीं गर्दन कटा देंगे जी, लेकिन हम भारत के आगे झुकेंगे नहीं, हम हाइब्रिड मॉडल एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेंगे, हम वो इस सारी चीज को लेकर के टेक ऑन कर लेंगे, सब कुछ हेड ऑन ले लेंगे, लेकिन हम मानेंगे नहीं। तो अब आपको उसके लिए कुछ ना कुछ तो बैकअप प्लान रखना पड़ेगा ना। तो बैकअप प्लान के तौर पर अब ये होगा कि हमने आई फॉर एन आई दिया है, एक हाइब्रिड मॉडल, और दूसरी चीज हमने अगले 3 सालों के लिए जो साइकिल है उसमें रेवेन्यू शेयरिंग मॉडल को बढ़ा दिया है। तो ये 2 चीजें जो पाकिस्तान प्रोजेक्ट करने की सोच रहा है इस समय पर, इसमें भी क्या अप्रूव होगा और क्या अप्रूव होगा, ये अभी तक इसके बारे में मुझे कोई जानकारी नहीं है कि इसमें कौन सी।
Okay. Shubhan, what is your take on this before I go to Shahid bhai, because we need the Pakistani perspective. There's somebody who says, friends, unsubscribe because this is an anti-national channel. Go ahead and do what you want. We don't care. Do what you want, because this is a channel which will give you perspective and objectivity. We get two hoots. This is not a
सारे तिरंगा
fundamentalist
लगा कर बैठ
platform.
जाएगा.
जो मर्जी कर लो, फर्क नहीं पड़ता. जो मर्जी कर लो. It's as simple as that. We will give you the objective news point and proper analysis. You want to watch, you do watch. You don't want to watch, the door is open. Shubhan, your thoughts.
Boris, I think it's a very sensible decision from the PCB, and I think everyone in this panel will agree that PCB, they have worked hard uh, to increase their to better to for the betterment of their stadium infrastructure. They have worked. They are still working hard. The stadium infrastructure is still not redevelopment is still not complete, but it is in a good way that Pakistan Cricket Board in the future will have something to say that we have successfully hosted a multinational tournament with several of the international teams coming to their country, barring India. I think that's a very sensible decision from the PCB, and revenue wise also, given that what we have heard, that they have loaned a certain amount of money for the redevelopment of the stadium, that they will get back from hosting the Champions Trophy. They are retaining the right, and that is what they have earned to host the Champions Trophy. So it's a very sensible decision. Okay, India is not coming there, and for cricket lovers, it is something that is not in their hands, or not, that is not in our hands, or that is not in PCB or BCCI's hand. It is the disturbance between both the countries, political wise or geopolitical wise, whatever you call it. But it's a very sensible decision, as in we will get to see India versus Pakistan in Dubai. We will get to see Pakistan hosting several other teams in their nation, which I feel will benefit their case when they will bid for any other tournaments in the future after the next cycle, that is after 2031, when they will be on the board negotiating, they're talking about hosting multinational tournament. They can easily proceed. We have hosted six other nations, six including themselves, six other nations, sorry, not including themselves, excluding themselves, during the 2025 Champions Trophy, and we have successfully hosted them. So in that regard, I think Pakistan Cricket Board will have a strong say. And yes, in the future, I think that will help their case in hosting other tournaments. That will help their case in reboosting their financial credibility, and of course, for cricket fans in Pakistan who have been deprived of quality international cricket in the last decade or so, I think they will get to see their some of the top stars play in their country. So I think it's a win-win situation for all of them, and ICC will be happy, broadcasters will be happy, and I don't think it will be a major issue in the near future, Moriada.
Shahid Hashmi, I absolutely think this is a good call from the PCB. I think this is a good call from the PCB because, frankly, the stalemate was going nowhere. The option was on the table last night: either accept the hybrid model or let the tournament move out of Pakistan, because India has all the votes within the ICC's corridors, something that we broke last night. And frankly, there was no vote within Pakistan, Shahid Hashmi. I can tell you this: I gave you a call this morning, you and I had a chat on this. So, in such a scenario, when the votes were heavily loaded in favor of India, unfortunately, the PCB had no wiggle room. The truth is, if they did not accept the hybrid model, they were pushing themselves in a corner. By bargaining and asking for these riders, getting more money, they are playing the prudent game, which I think is good diplomacy, which I think is good for Pakistan cricket and also for world cricket. So this is a reasonably acceptable solution for everyone. Shahid Hashmi, your thoughts? Before you answer, there's someone who's asking me, Saha याद दिलाऊं क्या भाई? मैं तेरे को साहा याद दिला देता हूं. मैं तो बार बार बोलता हूं, साहा को जाके पूछ ले मेरे बुक के बाद अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो भाग क्यों गए इतना झूठ एक्सपोज कर देने के बाद. तो मैं तेरे को याद दिला देता हूं फॉर अ चेंज. ऑल ऑफ माय फ्रेंड्स हैव रेड द बुक, सो व्हाई डोंट यू फॉर अ चेंज थोड़ा कुछ पढ़ लिया करो. लेट शाहिद हाशमी आंसर. Shahid bhai.
I don't read any filthy comments. I'd never read neither Twitter nor Facebook nor whenever I am on a YouTube channel. Uh, I think Mohsin Naqvi gave a clue. He gave a snip of what is coming Thursday night. He said that we will decide, we'll take a decision which will be in the best interest of Pakistan cricket. So it's a sensible decision. Accept the hybrid model, increase your revenue, annual revenue, and hosting fees. Go for a hybrid model and let the world know that Pakistan has bent down because it was a sensible thing to do that. And in the future, there should be some more respectability, there should be some more inclination towards Pakistan, so that a whole generation will not be deprived of watching star players from India. So, but that again, that will be done on political platform, not on PCB or any cricketing platform. So let's see in the next 2 or 3 years. Hope this hybrid model goes well with all the with every cricket team, with all the fans of the world. Uh, Admittedly, Pakistan fans will be disappointed. They will come out emotionally criticizing Pakistan Cricket Board, criticizing Pakistan government. But this is the logical solution, and let cricket move towards more betterment. Let cricket world move towards more friendship, and hopefully, in the next 2 3 years, things will get better and better.
Nargi, there's a super chat. Let Bharat take that. Let's focus on quality of cricket. Can you guys give us your top four for the CT25, and do you see Pakistan in that? Bharat Ramraj, take that.
Oh, that's a tough question because obviously it's still November here. One has to also consider the conditions where it would be played. I guess obviously you expect a couple of Asian nations to be in it. One will be India will be there. So one I expect India. I think Australia is on a slight downhill path. England is also on a slight downhill path. But I would still give maybe Australia would come into the equation. So yeah, India, Australia, maybe who knows? Pakistan also will come into the equation, and in ICC tournaments, New Zealand tend to play well. Maybe they will be that number 4 team, because I don't think England are playing their best cricket at present in ODIs. So I'm not looking at them as one of the top teams.
Juglan, if I can come to you, at no point in time was India to go to Pakistan. So if I take a sequence of events, it was posturing all through. It was posturing to get the best deal out of the whole situation. Mohsin Naqvi, given his position as Interior Affairs Minister, had to do this to safeguard his own back. And that is what he was trying to do, because ultimately you have gone back to the Najam Sethi model. This was the Najam Sethi model. He claimed the innovation of the hybrid model. Frankly, you have accepted the Najam Sethi model. But this entire drama that unfolded, eventually one can say, was to get more out of this bargain. Where do you stand on this, Rohit Juglan? Will this be seen? Because clearly, ultimately, if you see, this was always to be done. Hybrid model was always to be accepted by Pakistan. Rohit Juglan.
Yes, Buryada, as I said in my first answer, that it has to do something with the politics. There has to create some mahal because of what's going on in the inner politics. Currently I'm coming from the ground, to the hotel, and the cab driver was a Pakistani, and he fortunately watches my content, and he said, "Are Rohit bhai, aapko dekha hai?" So I just casually asked him, "What's going on? Politically kya chal raha hai? What about the Champions Trophy?" And we three four journalists are there in a car, and I just asked him, and he said, "It's all political." So it's not only the people who know the inner story know that it's political. It's the local people of the Pakistan and India who knows that what's going on. Ye jo shigufa choda ja raha hai, that we don't accept hybrid model, we'll bring India to Pakistan. From the very start, we all knew that India is not going to Pakistan. Even the Pakistanis know this, that India won't come to Pakistan. But my main thing was that why ICC at the very start didn't intervene on this and said that what's your stance, tell us, so that we don't have to do this just 60-70 days before the Champions Trophy. I think this has to be rectified and this has to be corrected. If one has to travel to other nation, if India has to travel to Pakistan or Pakistan has to travel to India, there has to be at least 100 or 120 days ago, before the tournament started. We could have easily know this, that yes, this thing is happening as far as these two teams are concerned related to this tournament. Coming back to your question, this is all political. This is either from at the very start, what Ramiz Raja was doing from his days, it was just carried forward by Zaka Ashraf and the Mohsin Naqvis, and then the Nazam Sethis. They all were doing the same. At the very start, Nazam Sethi, I did an interview last year with Nazam Sethi. He clearly said to me that we are focusing on bringing India to Pakistan. See, Pakistan, BCCI has two officers also coming. Office bearers are also coming to Pakistan. So we are trying our best to bring. At that point of time, you see, Mr. Roger Bini and Mr. Rajiv Shukla went to Pakistan. So it's from the very start that the Pakistanis, the PCB chairmen were already claiming that we will bring India to Pakistan. Zaka Ashraf did it, Nazam Sethi did it, Ramiz Raja did it, Mohsin Naqvi did it. Why did they did it? Because they all knew that it has a political gain in it. PCB will definitely gain a lot if they bring India to Pakistan. There's no other way around it. They will have the most the historic step, as far as after 2008 or 2007, you considered that the last series, and after that this will be their best chance, that where they can argue and bargain about it. But I think because it's also part of the politics, this cannot be stopped. Again, I'm telling you that then at 2026 again the same thing will happen. Again, Pakistan will say that we are not going to India, we are not going to India, we are not going to India. Yes, they can play their league games in Sri Lanka, but what about if they reach semi-final?
Shumik, tell me something. Is this going to be construed as a face loss for Pakistan? Will this be construed as a face loss for Mohsin Naqvi? I can't ask Shahid this question because unfortunately it is difficult for him to answer this. But objectively, is this a face loss for Pakistan? Because this was always on the anvil. Shomik, how do you react to that? Will Mohsin Naqvi will be able to stand his ground and say, oh, you know what, I at least bargain for more money? Or will this be construed as a face loss for Mohsin Naqvi? Shomik.
He shouldn't take this as a face loss. I mean, this is the most pragmatic decision. Once India said that we are not going to Pakistan, we are not going to send the Indian team to Pakistan, it was always going to be a hybrid model. So he shouldn't. I mean, as you said, he is not only the PCB chair, he is also Pakistan's interior minister. There are some political compulsions, and to adhere to those political compulsions, he had to say certain things in public, which he did. But personally, I don't think he should take this as a face loss. And as I mean, the Pakistani fans, the majority of them, as Shahid Bhai also said, they will present it in a way that this is a face loss for Pakistan and Mohsin Naqvi. The challenge for him is to present the whole situation to Pakistan cricket fans in a way that they understand that Pakistan also got their share of the pie. Uh, this is a challenge for Mohsin Naqvi. I think Mohsin Naqvi overstepped a bit 2 days ago, because once he said we'll do whatever is the best for Pakistan, that was a very, very fair and logical comment. But after that, his comment that we will not take insult, we will take the heart, that is when he did sort of vault face. I think that was a bit unwise of him.
I kind of agree with Shobik there, Shahid Bhai. I will ask Shubhan this, but do you want to take this? Because it was completely fine to say we will do in the interests of Pakistan cricket. That's why you're there. But then to say, I won't take insult, I am okay with injury, that was unnecessary. That was political comment given who he is. Where do you stand on this, Shahid Bhai? Was Mohsin Naqvi playing the gallery? Was he trying to appease his people in Pakistan, being who he is? And now he has to accept the ground reality, which is the hybrid model. Where do you stand on this, Shahid Bhai? If you want to leave the ball outside off stump, I'm okay.
No, it's unfortunate. The comments were unfortunate, but as you said that these all these comments were just simply posturing. You have to save yourself because you are a political appointee. You hold a political place in the national government. So and when you know that sentiments of 250 million people are involved, you have to do this. And from right from the start, you will say no, will not bargain. Then when you see that there are no options left, then you turn to accept the most sensible option, and that's what he has done. That definitely there will be criticism on Mohsin Naqvi. He'll have to face them because and come out and tell the people, tell all the fans that this was the most sensible solution and this was in the best interest of Pakistan, which he had said 2 days ago.
Shubhan, same question for you. Does Mohsin Naqvi lose face? because of the change in stance? Does Mohsin Naqvi manage to get appease his people, saying, "Oh, you know what? I've been able to bargain more than what my predecessors Najam Sethi or Zaka Ashraf has done"? Where do you stand on this?
See, Boryada, I was saying the same thing in our Hindi live also, that, see, Mohsin Naqvi in the last couple of days have faced a lot of brunt from the Pakistan local, not media, but the people on social media, etc., about what happened in Islamabad, and his comments on open firing and etc. I don't want to go in that because that is completely political, and that comes from his position as the interior minister. But this is what people generally do, who are in power, when they are losing that the grip on some topic, and that is what he was trying to do. Whether he's trying to feed onto the YouTubers or the Pakistani media on that we are having a hard bargain over the Champions Trophy. We are like whatever the Pakistani media, or not the media, not the proper journalists like Shahid Hashmi, but other YouTubers who were trying to do that, BCCI झुक गई इंडिया के साथ, PCB के सामने, मोदी सरकार, some rubbish content that they were trying to peddle, and for that for that I feel there is something which Mohsin Naqvi has also tried to do. The journalist or the YouTuber that you had some interaction with on Twitter last evening, Ajaz Bakri, he works for a channel owned by Mohsin Naqvi, which was revealed by Rohit in our Hindi live. So you can sense that kind of agenda, where it is coming from, and the kind of comments that they are making. So it is all interconnected. It is all interconnected, and for me sitting here, I will always try to save my country. I will always try to save my board. But for them, they have certain agenda against Indian people, and what we were discussing in our morning show also, that they are trying to pedal hard. They are trying to stretch it so that if Jaisha comes into the as the ICC chairman, then they might have some sort of, as interior minister of Pakistan, they might play some other trick, and they might try to face in front of their awam. So it's all interconnected, but I don't think, as we have been repeatedly saying, PCB had no bargain power in this, from the starting day.
Gargi, question for you: is this and this issue dragged on for about a month? Had it been a South African or an Englishman taking over as ICC boss, would this even have come to this, or was it an attempt to push Jai Shah? I will ask Shahid Hashmi this, but Gargi, is it because an Indian who's the son of the Home Minister of India taking over? Is this posturing, or was this posturing being done more to try and push Jai Shah a little bit, Gargi?
That's an interesting thought to think about. Obviously, like I said earlier as well, there's obviously a lot of political ulterior motive involved in whatever has happened or whatever has transpired in the past few months when it comes to the Champions Trophy. And it was I think when it comes to India, India was pretty set on not going, and the clear reason was obviously security issues. When it comes to Pakistan, obviously they wanted to have the game in Pakistan, but you cannot deal with India and Pakistan and not involve politics. That's just how it is. That's just the reality. There were definitely power games being played there. There were definitely some political motives behind whatever was going on, whatever statements were being said. Be it, I don't know how much of this is related, but the trophy tour, adding POK venues in there. So there's definitely a lot of politics involved in this, and we can't do anything about it because that's just the reality of the two countries right now.
Bharat, and that's a good point made by Gargi about the trophy tour. Bharat, if I decode this, first, the trophy tour was supposedly, it is always the host, it is always the International Cricket Council that announces the venues. PCB jumps and adds a number of places to it, which are part of POK, and thereafter they have to bite the bullet and change them. Then they say we will not accept the hybrid model. Then one after the other, if you see, these are kind of statements that have come from Pakistan. Ultimately, they've gone back on each of this. The trophy tour happened without Abbottabad. Without Modi and
Muzaffarabad.
few other players.
Muzaffarabad.
Pardon me? Muzaffarabad, correct. The trophy tour happened without Muzaffarabad. So a number of such things have happened in the last couple of weeks. Does this dent the credibility of the PCB, Bharat Ramraj? That look, you're trying to do something, you know it's posturing, but you're still hell bent on it. Does this dent the possibility, the credibility of the PCB, Bharat?
Yeah, I guess so, because the kind of statements that has come from across the border, that definitely doesn't help the Pakistan Cricket Board. Yeah, I understand what Naqvi Saab was trying to do, and Pakistan Cricket Board was trying to do, because they have to think about their own public. They have to do a little bit of posturing, tend to show that we are trying to bargain, we are trying to kind of hit back at BCCI. So I understand from that point of view. But finally, they won't help PCB because you keep coming with such statements, and then finally, you finally go and accept the hybrid model, and also obviously with the POK, that was never going to happen, because without even consulting ICC, they jumped the gun there as well. So from that perspective, yes, it definitely is a kind of loss of credibility or loss of face for PCB. But I understand where they are coming from, because they also have to think about their own public. They just have to show that they're trying to do a little bit of bargaining, that they're trying to really hit back, and they're trying to take on BCCI.
Shahid Hashmi, same question. Does this dent the credibility of the PCB? Muzaffarabad, all of a sudden you announce, you take it out, because clearly the Indian board, Jai Shah, was openly saying this is wrong, and he got his way, very rightly so. The ICC forced PCB to change that. There was no reason for the PCB to jump the gun. They had to bite the bullet. Now this whole posturing with Champions Trophy, oh, we will not accept anything, we will not accept hybrid model. Finally, you had to accept the hybrid model. Does this dent the credibility of somebody like a Mohsin Naqvi, Shahid Hashmi, or you're like, no, this is part of real politics. All these politicians, they will continue to do such things to try and appease their own people. Where do you stand on this, Shahid Hashmi?
I think partially it will dent, definitely, and I'll admit it. But I think the blame squarely goes on ICC. Why not after the T20 World Cup they decided that whether India will be touring Pakistan or not? Why they were muted for 6-7 months, and they choose a time just 3 months before the Champions Trophy? And the trophy tour was announced in consultation. The trophy tour was announced by ICC and lifted by Pakistan Cricket Board, and they should not have included a territory which is a flashpoint between the two rivals, two arch rivals. And they suddenly realized that yes, on India's objection, the trophy should not go to Muzaffarabad and two other places which are disputed regions. Accept it or not, whether Pakistan will accept it or not, whether it's a disputed territory. And it was, I think the mistake was on part of ICC. Without ICC's approval, PCB would not have announced the trophy tour itinerary. So both blames go to ICC, and I think partially it will dent Pakistan Cricket Board's credibility, but I will still blame ICC for all this fuss.
Rohit, is this the ICC? Our sources say it was Pakistan Cricket Board that jumped the gun. Shahid Hashmi is well within his rights to defend and say that the blame is with ICC. Where do you stand on this, Rohit? Did Pakistan Cricket Board jump the gun, and has this dented the credibility of the PCB?
Means obviously cannot believe this, that it's again an unbelievable thing that without the surety of ICC, Pakistan can announce the trophy tour. But I think ICC on themselves, I think, though, can't take this much risk that they are announcing the cities of the Pakistan occupied Kashmir to relate it with the trophy tour. I don't think that Pakistan or PCB, apart from Pakistan and PCB, ICC can make this kind of a mistake. ICC can't do this kind of mistake, because the people they
I
are very
think
much.
I think it was a goof up on the part of ICC. PCB announced the itinerary on Instagram. 24 hours later, India objected to it. Why not ICC objected when PCB announced the tour itinerary on Instagram?
Why don't PCB bash ICC then? Why don't PCB give a clarity then that this tour has been organized by the ICC, not by the PCB?
They
Because
said this. They
everyone,
said
your
this.
Asian counterpart,
But
They
Shahid
said
bhai, one
they
second, one second. Always
they
the
said this.
announcement is Shahid bhai, 1 minute. Always the announcement is by the ICC. Why do you have to jump the gun and announce it on your Instagram? Let the ICC do it. Then you have a strong case saying, hello, the mistake is on the part of the ICC, not the PCB. Here we have
That
ammo where we are saying that it was the PCB who put it out, not the ICC. So the fault was on the part of the PCB. There is enough ground to say that. Shahid bhai, the reasonable argument is, why did the PCB announce it and not let the ICC do its job? So that's the question we are asking. Multiple occasions we have seen the PCB jump the gun for no reason. Shubhan, I know you've got to go. So has to Rohit. We'll wrap up the show. But Shubhan, is this the final resolution of this matter now in 24 hours when the announcement is made, or do you see further politicking going on in the next few days? Shubhan.
I don't see any further development or any further addition to what we are already hearing. Hybrid model regarding to Champions Trophy, I don't know about the revenue model and what the other boards, because if Pakistan demands an increase in the revenue model, then other boards will also have to have a big say in that, whether they are agreeing to that or not. Because if Pakistan's even 0.3%, if that increases in Pakistan's revenue model, then it will be deducted in from someone's account, or collectively from someone's account. So that I don't know what will happen. But regarding Champions Rupee, hybrid model is something which has been finalized and which will be announced officially in the coming days, whether it is tomorrow or whether it is day after tomorrow, including the schedule later words, as we continue to have developments in this regard.
I'll let Shubhan go. I'll let Shubhan go. But Shomik, if that is the case, if other boards put their foot down saying, no, we don't want to give more money from central revenue to Pakistan, what happens? Because then the stalemate continues. If this is the bargaining chip that give us more money from the central revenue pool, and if the other boards are not agreeable to that, what happens, Shomik? Is this a resolution, or do you see further politicking?
I don't say, because if you increase the revenue share from 5.75% to around 6%, that will not affect the other boards that much. They are never going to get 7%, given that ECB are getting 6.38%. They are second in the list after BCCI. BCCI get 38%, followed by ECB, that is 6.38%. So PCB are never going to get 7%. From 5.75 to 6% is not a huge jump. And I think, BCC and the other boards, the ICC directors, it will be acceptable to the ICC directors. Now, see, the thing is that Pakistan cricket brings a lot of following to the game, that we'll have to accept. And in that sense, they have, they contribute to ICC's revenue share. So I don't think that much of a 0.25% of increase will not see any more politicking. But I want to ask, I don't know whether Shahid Bhai will agree with me or not. But my personal feeling is that, from my experience, Pakistan Cricket Board these days misses an administrator like Shahryar Khan of his understanding and diplomatic acumen. From my experience of covering Pakistan cricket and world cricket, the way Mr. Shahryar Khan, Brigadier Shahryar Khan, used to handle all such complicated matters, I see that lacking in current Pakistan administrative setup. I don't know Shahid Bhai will agree with me or not.
Shahid bhai, quick comment before I give the last words to Rohit Juglan, and that is on the match tomorrow, because it's 11
I
plus
agree.
in Australia. Yeah, Shahid bhai.
I agree with Shamik, because instability in Pakistan Cricket Board setup, and all those who don't know about cricket, who don't know much about geopolitical situations around the world and the politics of cricket, this is lacking in Pakistan Cricket Board.
And Shahid Hashmi is spot on. I mean, that book between Shahryar Khan and Shashi Tharoor is still one of the better books written on India-Pakistan cricket. Rohit Juglan, what's happening? Is Shubman Gill playing? Is Shubman Gill going to play tomorrow? Is the final thing. I'm putting you on the spot. You've been there. Tomorrow, 50 over game. We will be live at 8:30 in the morning. But Rohit Juglan, India time, that is. Is Shubman Gill going to play? What's happening? Set it up for us. Is it better weather tomorrow in Canberra?
Yes, Buryada, it's better weather as compared to today. Yes, it's very much better. Very better as compared to today. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see once we'll go to the ground. We'll go to the ground. We'll see that what's the conditions been like, because it's not about the weather here. It's about how much they can make that ground a proper place to play, because the Indian team is very much concerned at that point of view that players don't get injured in those wet outfield. So there were patches. There was only one super stopper which I saw today working. It's I think drizzled the whole day. It drizzled the whole last night. So we have to see the conditions of the ground. Yes, the weather conditions are better, but the conditions of the ground will be the more trickier part. And as far as Shubman is concerned, I think he has to play, because practice, the 4 different nets, the kind of time he spent in the nets, the way he was feeling after hitting each and every ball, the way he was communicating with the bowlers, the way he was discussing the lengths, and the way his conversations with Mone Mokkal or to a Ryan Descarte or to this Akash Deep. I think it gives me a sense that yes, he will be playing tomorrow's game. But let's see. It's a 50-over game now. A 50-over game aside, it will be interesting to see that they'll play it with pink ball. What I am getting is they will play with the pink ball, not with the white one. Let's see. I'm hopeful that he will be playing, but more focus on what's the conditions are.
So we'll end there. We'll end there. I mean, we've had a long discussion on Champions Trophy, and Rohit Juglan is of the opinion that Shubman Gill will play tomorrow. To sum it up, I think sense has prevailed. Pakistan accepting the hybrid model is the best possible answer or solution to this stalemate. Pakistan had no wiggle room. There was nothing that they could have done which is not, which is different. In the ICC's corridors of power, like I told Shahid Hashmi, last night itself, Pakistan did not have a single vote. All of the members were in favor of the hybrid model, and Pakistan Cricket Board was isolated. At that point in time, Pakistan had no wiggle room. If they would have not accepted the hybrid model, Pakistan stood to, at that point, the Champions Trophy would have moved out of Pakistan. They would have lost the hosting rights, which meant they would have also lost 70 plus million dollars. That is a huge amount of money to lose. So the sense prevailed, financial stability and everything else prevailed. As a result, yes, their credibility might be dented a bit. Mohsin Naqvi's posturing might be called out, but eventually, from the standpoint of the PCB, I think the reasonable decision has been taken. We have to wait and see when this becomes official, but for the moment, this is all that we are getting. That Pakistan Cricket Board has accepted it with a rider. We will come back with more tomorrow morning ahead of the game in Canberra, and we will also discuss more on the Champions Trophy. Shahid Hashmi, I love you coming and taking all the questions and giving us your frank opinions. Not always easy. Shomik Chakraborty, Bharat Ramraj, Rohit Juglan, pretty late in Australia. Rohit, have some good rest. Gargi Rao, thank you very, very much for joining us. To Shubhain and Devashish, who had joined us as well. And to everyone watching, thank you very much as always. Do subscribe. Do come and listen to some objective analysis for a change and not sensationalist rubbish. Thank you very much for watching.